Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank you so much for stopping by today. The subject of my vlog today is don't move to the Philippines until you can answer these 5 questions. But before I get started, let me welcome my new viewers and new subscribers. Thank you so much for your kindness, your generosity, and your support of my channel. It's truly been amazing. I never take that for granted. I'm a 58-year-old American who tired of the rat race, decided to move to the Philippines in search of a new life. Well, I found that new life, and I want to share with you my boots on the ground experiences only way I know how. It's by giving you the nitty-gritty. Just exactly what I'm seeing, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. I'm never going to sugarcoat that. It's not going to start today. Don't move to the Philippines until you can answer these 5 questions. I've been here on and off for 12 years. I met a lot of expats. But I'm going to talk about my basic experiences. Okay. When I first came over in 2009, I just got on a plane and came over here. I was just intrigued by the Philippines. I had no idea that, I didn't have any plans to stay in anyhow. But I've come up with some things that you should consider before you plan on making this move. These are legitimate questions. They don't address money, because guys, look, we talk about that all the time. We talk about budgets. Well, how much money do I need, this and that. I'll say this before I get started. I always suggest that you have some type of recurring income, monthly income, residual income, a retirement pension, something, okay? Or if you don't have that, just in my humble opinion, I'm going to say if you're 50 years and older, I would say at least $250,000 cash. That should last you until you retire, okay? But I'm not going to waste your time talking about money today. So the first thing I'm going to talk about, first question is, why am I coming? See, we come here for different reasons, but if your reason is compelling enough, it's going to come to your aid in times of trouble over here. Always remember why you came. Keep that at the forefront of your mind. Okay, it helped you on the job. That's why you were able to stay there for 40 years at the post office, 25 years in the military. See, remember why you came. Remember why you on that job. Well, I got to pay the mortgage off. I've got to pay college tuition. I got to pay this car off. Whatever it was that kept you on that job, there was a reason. And that same reason, or that same type of reasoning, is going to keep you over here in the Philippines. It's a strong reminder to keep you rooted here. So always remember why you came. And if you have a compelling enough reason, you're probably going to make it here. You're probably going to stick, and you're probably going to stay. The second question you need to ask is this: do I have the patience? And I'm not just talking about the patience to withstand this slow and methodical society over here. Yeah, you're going to have patience for that, but do you have the patience to wait, to allow your plan to unfold? Here comes my engineer. Hey, how you doing? Just walking through. Yeah, do you have the patience to sit it out and wait through that adjustment period? Good morning. Because the mistake I see a lot of us make over here is we leave too soon. And leaving too soon is a big mistake. We leave before the miracle happens, so to speak. That's what I like to say. So do you have the patience? I say give yourself at least a year to get enough data, to weigh the pros and cons, because one day you're going to wake up and it's all going to make sense to you. You're going to say, oh, okay, this is the reason why I came over here. You know, everything's going to start falling into place, and you're going to realize that your patience has paid off for you. But don't leave too soon. It sort of reminds me of a story in Think and Grow Rich. I'm probably going to tear this story up, but here's the basics of it. A gentleman and his uncle, during the gold rush days, they were out in California and they struck a good vein of gold. And there's a little puppy. I've got him some food. I hope he'll eat it. I bought him some water, and I'll put it here. This is for the dog. That little doggy there. This is for the dog. Give him the water and the meat for that little dog there. Yeah. He's gonna eat today, guys. We bought him something.
Really?
Yeah. I bought him some water and I bought him a can of dog food if he'll let him eat. But back to the story. A gentleman and his uncle, I believe he was from Pennsylvania somewhere, but they struck a good vein of gold out in California, and they said, hell, you know, out came the first load of gold, and they said, hell, a couple of more of these, we're gonna pay off all the debts. Well, the vein stopped, and these guys, they grew frustrated. The uncle went home, and then the young man eventually sold his equipment to a junk man. Well, here's what the junk man did. He went out and hired an expert in reading minds, reading fault lines and minds, and he did a few calculations, and he said the vein of gold is going to pick up again in 3 feet. Dig 3 more feet, and that's what happened. He dug 3 more feet, and he became rich and famous. It's a true story, and that's a lot of times what we do. We stop 3 feet short of gold over here, guys. Don't leave too soon. Have some patience. Let your plan unfold. Give it some time. You know, to weigh the pros and cons. Okay, the third thing is, and this is just important as the first one. When the first one was, why am I coming? What am I leaving behind? Now, I'm referring to guys like me who are coming here in search of greener pastures. See, I always keep the burning house in the forefront of my mind that I left behind, or the stressful job, or the bad marriage, whatever it is. What am I leaving behind? Because everybody that comes over here, good morning, man, buntag, doesn't plan as well as everybody else. No one, comes here for the same reason, but always keep that in the forefront of your mind, because that's going to keep you here too. When you get homesick, when you start questioning yourself, you're not going to go back to that burning house. You're going to say, I'm going to double down on my efforts then and stay here. I'm going to do whatever it takes before I have to go back. And see, that kind of leads into the next one. The fourth question is, what am I willing to sacrifice? There's a lot of sacrifices we got to make over here, ladies and gentlemen. And I know you're going to say, well, Calvin, these questions could be asked anywhere in the world. Yeah, but once again, I live in the Philippines. My vlog's about the Philippines, and I'm going to tell you something. The Philippines is unique. It's a unicorn. It's not like everywhere else. Number one, it's so far away. Good morning.
Good morning.
See, and there's a lot of challenges here that you're not going to see if you decide to relocate to Germany or Switzerland or France or one of those other places. You have to give up a lot, and you have to ask yourself, what am I willing to sacrifice, to stay there in search of my new life? Because remember, in my new house I'm building, there's no tub. A lot of people, they like tubs, and one guy made a comment in there. He said, man, when I build my house, I'm going to build it with American features. I'm going to have a big enough bathroom for a tub. I said, it's fine, but it's more things than that, but that you're going to have to sacrifice. A lot of your comfort foods and your friends and your contacts, you're leaving all that behind. And see, that's going to go into, I'm going to give you an added number 6, but yeah, what are you willing to sacrifice? Because, it takes sacrifice to get over here. See, cowards don't make it as expats. You got to have courage, man. Good morning. You got to be willing to sacrifice over here. And there's a lot of sacrifices that are going to have to need to be made over here. So what are you willing to sacrifice, for the new life over here? You may not have the big house. You may not have the fancy car. Good morning. So that's a question you have to ask yourself and really think on these questions, guys. Don't just run over them, because I'm going to tell you, if you come over here and you haven't thought everything out, you're not going to make it. You're going to end up like so many more of us, and we end up going home. And remember, some of the things that make us leave are out of our control. Maybe we got some health issues. Maybe we got legal problems that have cropped up from home. It's an array of things that are out of your control. But what these 5 questions will address, and all things being equal, are things in our control, okay? At least think about them. So sacrifices is one. And it kind of goes into this next one. Am I physically able to make the move? Am I physically able? That means mind, body, and spirit. To deal with the rigors of life over here. See this house here? It's sort of like my house, but my house is just a little bit different, but it's sort of like on that's the same size house I've got. The engineer showed me. As a matter of fact, I believe he built that. But it's the same size house I've got, basically, and you can see it. But am I physically able to withstand the rigors, physically and mentally? See, in order for me to create a life over here, one that I enjoy, number one, and that's very important. See, people always ask me a lot about healthcare plans and how expensive is healthcare in the Philippines, and I always tell them this, and I'm gonna tell you, no amount of money, you can have the best healthcare plan in the world, can save you from heredity or yourself. Maintenance begins at home. But if you do have some physical ailments that may stop you from living fully over here, I would say find a place along that expat alley where a hospitalization and the healthcare is so much better. But ask yourself and be honest, am I physically able? Can I cope? With the loneliness, with the homesickness. Homesickness, because see, by the time y'all met Sunshine Shoulders, I was already 2 years in. See, you didn't see the struggles. There's gonna be struggles over here. You know, you come into a whole other country, you're not going to know anybody other than the girl that you're with. Remember, the sacrifices, you left all your friends and contacts behind. You know, it's not easy. You know, and once it starts affecting you mentally, it's going to start affecting you physically. But if you're strong enough, remember, and you have the patience, you know, to withstand the certain trials and low spots that lie ahead, I'm telling you, it's certain. You know, you're going to make it. Now, I'm going to give you one more. This is a bonus, basically. Do you have a strong support group? We're leaving our support group behind. So what I would suggest to guys is, before you even come over here, start talking to your friends and family. You know, don't let what they say determine whether you're going to leave or not, but let them know of your plans. Give them your forwarding address, phone number, and by all means stay in contact with somebody in your home country. It's very, very important, guys. It's the only reason I was able to stop drinking. You know, they get that support group. It was a brilliant doctor that came up with the idea of a support group. He was treating cancer patients. And he said, hey, what if I put these cancer patients together and they start talking to each other about the problems, the concerns, the worries, and all that associated with their cancer, what would happen? And miracles started to happen. People started recovering. Not only were they start to recover, but a lot of people became okay with the fact that they were going to die. You know, they didn't feel alone. They didn't feel unique by themselves. You know, so that's what I suggest that you do. Get you a strong support group. Do I have a strong support group? When I feel down, in one of those low spots, I hit one of them low spots, can I call somebody? Because eventually you're going to find people, like I found John over here. See, I'm as important to John as John is important to me. See, John is not my yes man, and I'm not his. You know, you'll see we go back and forth a lot. But I tell you what, I'm so thankful to have people like John. And now I've added some more guys to my support group that I text on a daily basis, talk to on a daily basis. So there you have it, guys. You know, some very important questions that you should ask yourself before you move to the Philippines. It's not for everybody, but if you think this thing all the way through, keep it simple, don't overthink things. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna make it over here, because especially when you're coming from America, getting acclimated here is just so easy. You know, the language, you know, the cost of living, all the signage and everything. You go to the restaurants and all that, it's in English. Because I was wondering to myself, why do I fit in so easy over here? But that's one of the reasons, guys. That's why a lot of Americans and people who come from English-speaking countries, they come over here and they settle in pretty good. So thank you so much for stopping by. If you're in America, it's getting late. Please help somebody before you let your head hit the pillow. But if you're on one of them late grocery runs, beer runs, weed runs, just getting off second shift, or you're on your lunch break, you see somebody on the street, buy them something to eat, buy them something to drink, give them a few dollars. If you're in the Philippines, it's about 7:30. Good morning. We have the whole rest of the day to intentionally go out and find somebody to help. There's no excuse why we shouldn't find somebody over here to help today. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. We help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay COVID free. I'll see you next time.